Um, Welcome to the new program of the Voice of Creators. And today we have a special guest, Dr. Manvir Bhatia. She has over 30 years of experience, and she's a neurologist as well as sleep scientist. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Ram. Thank you so much for having me here for this.
Okay, yeah. So great to have you here. Um, I would like to understand a little bit more about, how you started your sleep medicine institute. I think it is an online program, if I'm not wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm a neurologist and a sleep medicine specialist. I was trained at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, where I was a faculty for at least 15 years. After leaving AIMS, I was involved in a few private hospitals in Delhi,
Mhm.
also looking after the departments and clinical work with a little bit of teaching work.
Okay,
But teaching has always been my passion. And because I had dealt with students who were doing post graduation, super specialization at AIMS,
yeah,
it's always been a pleasure to interact and to teach. So in 2012, we formed a partnership with another colleague of mine
hmm,
to teach sleep medicine to all those who were interested in this specialty.
right,
Because in our country, we don't have too much of practical and even theoretical base of sleep medicine was not there at that time.
right,
So these were face-to-face classes, and we used to organize sometimes twice in a month, twice in a year, sometimes thrice, or things like that, and workshop-based practical, so that people could get more information.
okay,
But then I realized that we are dealing with a very small number, and face-to-face is a little restrictive.
hmm,
So we need to open this up and get more people on board who are interested.
right,
And that's how this concept came, that we should have a online teaching program that wherever you are, you will still be able to get help.
okay. And is this for only doctors or the medical professionals, or any normal person like me, can benefit from one of the courses?
Yeah, so it started off with the thought that it would be for doctors, because that's what basically people have been questioning us. But then when I'm going deeper and spending more time and thinking about this, I also practice sleep medicine, clinical sleep medicine, and I
Right.
see a lot of patients who have major issues with sleep.
Mm.
So the next modules which are coming up are going to come up for the normal lay public, as we say.
Okay. Okay.
In that, I'm going to go a little deeper. Maybe my thought is to have it's not like one size fits all.
Mm.
So a corporate executive is different from a postmenopausal woman.
Mm.
It's different from a young mother,
Right.
different from a teenager. So we will have shorter kind of capsules for people of all ages to improve their sleep.
Okay. I think given the current the culture, whatever you wanted to call, people have loads of stress, and it has an impact on their sleep pattern, behavior, etc. So hopefully, your courses help
Yeah.
a lot money.
So we've seen a lot of patients just during this lockdown. I was estimating, I think we've seen about 150 patients online consultation,
Wow. Okay.
and about 80-90% are all sleep issues and all ages. So that's
Hmm.
why I'm working on getting this out too soon.
Okay, all right, fine. That'll be really useful, Doctor. Tell us a little bit more about about your entrepreneurial journey, other than the medicinal aspect of it.
So I started the center, which is a neurology and a sleep center, which was in 2008,
Okay.
with the aim of providing consultation-based solutions.
Hmm.
But with the consultation, I also had provision that I could do the complete testing for
Wow.
neurology and for
Right.
sleep. So patients would come in and get evaluated at one place,
Hmm.
rather than sending them that after I've seen a consult, I send them somewhere else.
Okay. Okay.
And along from 2008, then I added the teaching program, then we did some other companies, and now this year has been the online for education system that I've started.
Okay. So it's quite a journey, isn't it? So from 2008 to
20
2020.
now.
Yeah. And what are all the other than treating the patients, or creating awareness about sleep issues, what are the underlying motivations, to look at expanding it into online and other ways?
I think the major motivation has been an attempt to provide a solution to whatever I find is the needed by the consumer.
Right. Okay.
So that's, I guess, is the main driving point.
Hmm.
That if I saw a patient with a neurological problem, I would want that I could do the nerve test, EEG, and form a complete diagnosis.
Okay.
Similarly for sleep, similarly for teaching. That has been the main thing that I'm keen that I do a complete circle and provide a
Hmm.
complete end-to-end solution rather than doing one part of it and saying, okay, now you go to the XYZ and then come back to me.
Right. Okay. Understood. And when you take any organization, they will face one challenge or another. Organization, entrepreneurs, etc. In the last 12 years, 20 years, or whatever, what are some of the major challenges that you had faced, and how did you overcome them?
So I think one, or let's say a few, not one, um, is that you need to develop yourself a lot, upgrade your own knowledge and skills
Right.
in management, firstly. So it's not that I'm seeing one entity and you have a solution. To provide that solution, you need technical knowledge, you need to understand manpower, you
Mm.
need projections, you need some financial knowledge, marketing knowledge, how to sustain this and to make it grow.
Right.
So that is, so one doesn't understand how much is required, but a lot of that information is required.
Right.
And I think a major help has been, or has been, yeah, is that I was fortunate enough to get enrolled in the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Entrepreneurship Program
Wow. Okay.
at ISB Hyderabad
Mhm.
in 2013-14.
Okay.
So which was like a 3-month capsule, they called it,
Mm.
for women entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And they gave us a good perspective starting from business plan, strategy, marketing, financials. So I think that kind of, so before that also we were doing things, but since then it's been much more streamlined and the
Right.
processes are much better defined.
Right. Okay. Fine. And whenever we start an organization, one of the key thing is its people. So how do you hire? What kind of skill sets would you be looking at when you are looking for?
Yeah. So this hiring has been a very big challenge. Actually, the bigger challenges in the initial stages was or is manpower.
Mm,
So my thing was how to get good people, how to retain good people,
mm,
and then to train them.
right.
Uh, so and they need so hiring. I have done initially, and even now, some of them by word of mouth.
Mm, 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 mm,
So I do put out some advertisements now during the course, and we get some CVs. Then I along the process, and I have realized now that I get them through word of mouth, but I do some kind of a little capsule of assessment.
mm. Okay.
So depending upon what is a skill that I'm looking at, if I need communication, that I make them speak to me.
Mm,
If I need some technical, I make them do a practical demo.
okay.
If I need some computer skill, I make them type a paragraph. So in about half a day, we are done
Okay.
in a simple manner. Because rather than getting somebody and then hiring and then telling the person you're not fit for it is not a good idea now.
Okay. Okay. So you take a lot of effort to do a proper interview or screening process, 4 hours,
Yeah,
5 hours.
I didn't do that earlier, but now, ever since I have done it, it's actually it's much easier.
Right.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. And um, can we divide your entrepreneurial journey as pre ISB, post ISB kind of a thing, or did it?
yeah, yeah.
Very much?
No, I think one can.
Okay.
There is a remarkable difference. So, one, I think the my organization skills have become much better.
Right.
And I think my thinking ability. I remember one of the teachers for strategy. She said that you can keep doing things,
Mm,
but the output may not be anything really substantial. So take some time off and think. So I started taking time off.
mm.
Monday mornings, I don't do work. I mean, I just kind of think or something
Yeah.
like that or
Uh,
plan.
mm.
So the working hours I have been able to curtail,
Mm.
and my other benefits have been much more.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Second,
I think,
that I
yeah,
learned was delegation.
delegation. Right. Yeah. We can't do everything on our own, isn't it?
So till the time that you do, see, you may do things the best way,
Yeah.
but when you delegate, you free up your time for lots of things. So I think the
Mm.
delegation has helped a lot. And
Right. Okay.
then goes with the hiring, that once,
Yeah.
if you hire people who you think are going to be,
Mm.
capable, and then comes the training.
Yeah.
So I have a continuous process of training,
Mm.
so that they keep up to date, and I also know that what's happening with them.
Mm. Doctor, you talked about the importance of continuous education for the entrepreneurs, about hiring the right people, delegating work to them. I wanted to touch upon the topic of marketing a bit. How important is it for any organization, in your view?
Yeah, no, I think it's very important because that's another thing that I did learn, but I know now over the years that you may be doing something really good
Hmm.
in your own field, and you may know that you're doing something good, but that's what you know.
Right.
People don't know. So, and in medicine, it's not something very nice. It's not considered good,
Hmm.
something, or even for anybody to blow your own trumpet, as they say.
Right.
But maybe in a subtle manner, maybe in a more well-defined, controlled manner,
Hmm.
one does need to talk about what's happening.
Right.
So yes, that's helped a lot, and I have spent a lot of energy and focus on that now.
Hmm. Okay. Understood. Now, over the last 3 months, the entire world is turned upside down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It may also have some kind of impact on your, the educational program you may be running. Do you see that as an opportunity, or do you see that as a big game changer? How do you plan to prepare for the future, Doctor?
Yes, so a lot of my work, which was face to face, has almost, maybe we are functioning at 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So the online program did get launched in May,
Right.
and we've had a fairly good response, even better than what I thought we would. And we're launching the next ones now next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this stands a very good chance because people there are eager to learn. Hopefully, we can bridge that gap that they have time.
Mm.
So this there is going to be, it is a game changer,
Right.
and it is a new way of, let's say, repositioning or resurfacing or reinventing myself,
Mm.
so that this will be my new way that I put more and more energy into the this online system of education.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So I have done or attended a few courses myself, at Coursera and other places, to learn online teaching,
Right.
to make it better from the student's perspective.
Okay. So what keeps coming back from you is the ongoing and continuous education that helps sharpen your thought process, I believe. And next thing I wanted to understand from you is, when you wake up in the morning, what drives you? What motivates you? Okay, this is my vision. I want to do this. What's the underlying thing?
I think just to improve myself more,
Improve yourself more. That's
and
a really
and
good one. What?
deliver. So I have this continuous thing that I think we need to. So I keep, I mean, telling my colleagues and friends also that I think there is no end to the learning.
Hmm.
So we just need to learn how to do things better and learn more.
Okay, okay, okay. What are your dreams and aspirations, Doctor?
Uh, in what way?
In general, for some people, it could be as you said, uh, getting better every day. That is one thing. but the ultimate end goal, like, we may not be able to define it in a crystal clear way. For some people it could be about money, for some people it could be about bringing a change in the society, for some people it could be like removing one particular disease from the world. So is there any bigger
Okay.
thing?
Yeah, I think one of the major ones is self-improvement.
Mm,
And second is that I'm really keen to kind of help all the patients that I come into contact with to the
mm,
best of my ability.
mm,
So partly I need to improve myself as a self-improvement to improve emotions, tolerance, patience. So my goals for happiness are very different than most other people. I mean, like I said, knowledge is a big thing for me.
yeah.
Um, so I do read a lot of self-improvement books and I attend courses of self-improvement.
Mm,
But the second is that whatever I do, I should do it to the best of my ability. So for that also, then um, I have to tend to read a lot, attend more lectures so that
mm,
new inventions are coming up. So to keep abreast with that, so we can deliver the best to our patients.
mm, mm, mm.
And I think the general thing is that the environment around me, whether it is my colleagues or my employees or family, to try and maintain harmony and peace.
Mm.
So that, so I believe that if everybody works in that situation where you are at peace or harmony or contentment, your outputs are much more productive.
Okay. So, it's like the if I could remember it correctly, I think there's a movie called Kung Fu Panda, if I'm not wrong. I think there is one thing, it was the inner peace is the one of the theme that
Yeah.
comes out. So essentially, like, if, what you're saying is, if we are at peace with ourselves, it would help us to perform better, whether you are an entrepreneur or an employee or whatever. That's
Yes.
the thing that is. Okay, great. And what are, like, few advices you would like to give for the viewers of this program, Doctor, the aspiring entrepreneurs?
So one is, I think that if you are very clear about your goal and you kind of narrow down and have that at your focus, you will achieve it.
Hmm.
But that journey will have lots of, might be a roller coaster, might be ups and downs, but keep that at the end. And I would say don't be in a hurry. The people who are in a big rush, um, and they see that XYZ, their neighbor has achieved something, it's not, nobody's done it very quickly.
Right.
It's patience and perseverance. And look around you, keep people around you happy, and I think then you will evolve into such. But kind of we have to narrow to what we are wanting, and I think that's also a little issue. We get distracted sometimes by not sure what we would, like you said, what is the ultimate goal or aspiration. So that has to be kept in mind, and the journey towards that is never a straight line. So once we remember that, you will have like, this has been a big game changer for all of us who thought we were settled,
Mm.
but with help from mentors, help from whoever you can get, we need to kind of keep rising up rather than allowing that to push us down.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Doctor. I think some of the aspiring entrepreneurs, benefit a lot from your advices. And one final thing, like, I just wanted to ask you would be, like, if any of the of the viewers want to follow you as a role model, how can they follow you? Are you
No,
Twitter?
anyway, they can write an email, they can come and get in touch, and anything that I can help. I've also had, which I would like to acknowledge, a lot of mentors through this journey who I have asked repeatedly for advice, for suggestions,
Hmm.
and that's been a big help because sometimes you may not be the. And that's another thing I think we need to say is that we can't get all the skills ourselves.
Right.
So we need people around us who have those skills, and we utilize them and get their time from them. And so I would be willing to help anybody who is faced with any such situation.
Okay. So they can also follow you on, I don't know,
Yeah, so I
LinkedIn.
have, yeah, so we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitter. I do have a Facebook page, etc. also, and on
Oh,
Instagram.
great. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, thank you very much for your time, Doctor. It has been a pleasure speaking to you, and your advices are really, really useful for the viewers of this program. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.